In a couple seconds, Salon.com Washington Bureau Chief Walter Shapiro will be with us. He's just wrapping up an interview on NBC, and he will be walking over to the phone and talking to us immediately after that interview. And why did NBC grab him for a live interview, and why are we? Well, we've been talking obviously about the presidential campaign here in the United States of America, and those of you who live outside the USA, we welcome you to participate in this debate as well, because obviously what happens here with regard to the election to the president of the United States affects you as well, because the United States casts a big shadow across the world. I have been contending, as have a lot of people observing this political race, that the fact that the Republicans, for all intents and purposes, have finished their primary campaign, that John McCain has now the number of delegates needed to be nominated as a president of the United States, the candidate of the Republican Party, that they can now sit back and watch the Democrats, Obama and Clinton, go at one another and pick up the scraps, hear what they have to say about each other, grab those sound bites and use them in the general campaign against the Democrats. And this is bad for the Democrats. And I'm not alone. There's a chorus of us who have been saying this. And along comes Walter Shapiro, the Washington Bureau Chief of Salon.com, and he's shaking his finger at us and he says, no, 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 you guys have got it all wrong. In fact, this debate, this hard-fought campaign between Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton actually favors, in the long run, the Democrats. Well, hey, when we read that, we said, let's reach out and touch Walter Shapiro and get him on the show. Walter Shapiro, welcome to News Talk Online on Paltalk.com.
Thank you so much. I just want to stress that it isn't like I think it's, obviously, if there was one candidate who was raucously endorsed by the entire Democratic Party, I can see an argument for prematurely ending it. But in an uncertain verdict, what's the point what's the point of truncating it? So you can give John McCain a certain target to aim at. Fundamentally, this is the most interesting politics we've had in years, and it just seems silly to cut this off out of some sort of strategic imperative that perhaps it might be helping the Republicans in November, even though neither Hillary Clinton nor Barack Obama has said a single word that would look very good in a John McCain ad.
Well, no, there was something that Hillary said that I was astounded.
John McCain, have you no shame, Barack Obama, as she holds up a NAFTA flyer?
No, no, no. When she said that if that phone call comes in at 3 o'clock in the morning, she is qualified to answer the call, and John McCain
never said Barack Obama is not qualified or Barack Obama is less qualified than John McCain. In fact, she was asked just that question in the next to the last debate, the one in Texas, and she refused to take the bait, even though she said, I'm the most qualified.
We had a Walter. We had a Republican county chairman in Illinois, suburban Chicago, call in the other day to complain that the news media are focused only on the Democratic campaign because there still is a Democratic campaign, and he says that the GOP, was having trouble getting their message out because of that, and then he was blasting the media for that. And my response to him was, as somebody who came here from that side of the street, I was at CNN. I know you were, before you went to Salon.com, you were at USA Today. You're still with the legit, with the news media, but you're, on the internet as well. I suggested at that point, that I've been very critical of the so-called mainstream media for its coverage, specifically of the debates, but they don't have any choice. They, this is where the story is, so of course they're going there. But your column on Salon.com today, Walter Shapiro, lends some credence to that gentleman's point of view a little bit.
Well, I mean, I was motivated not by that gentleman, but just to make the point is that traditionally, before 1992, campaigns traditionally went on into the fall. Went on to the eve of the convention. In winning years for the Democrats, like 1960 with Jack Kennedy, and in terribly losing ones like 68, 72, and 84. But the point was, there were fights, and the conventions were the proper place to resolve this. We're not talking about resolving this on the fourth ballot with somebody smoking a cigar in Denver. We're 170 odd days away from the Democratic convention. How long does it take a candidate to contemplate his or her vice presidential choice? 6 months?
Yeah, exactly. Well, I'm not a partisan, and so I've always been one who favored a delegate fight at the conventions. I think that
we
would
all
just be
dream.
super.
I'm not a partisan either. Let me stress this. And we all dream of a second ballot at a convention. But right now, I'm just dreaming of a convention that's less scripted than the Oscar telecast.
Exactly. Well, here's one thing that needs to be in play, I think, if there is going to be a delegate fight at the convention. It's not going to happen, I don't think, unless they do the redo in Florida and Michigan.
Let me stress that what struck me as ludicrous is, first of all, the Clinton campaign still has not officially called for a do-over in Michigan and Florida, and is still clinging to the almost comically ineffective stance that somehow a contest decreed as illegal by the Democratic National Committee in advance somehow now should count because Hillary won. Barack Obama wasn't even on the Michigan ballot, and no candidate campaigned in either Michigan or in Florida. Clearly, the resolution is some sort of do-over, and if you have a do-over schedule, that's 366 delegates added to the number needed to win the nomination, or half of that number is added, 183, which means all these people with their nice little handy-dandy Forbes and Slate delegate counters, suddenly there are many ways that Hillary Clinton